You ever hear a sound that doesn't belong? Something that just feels wrong. Not loud, not threatening, just out of place, like it wandered here from another world. Whistling, low and slow, that's how it starts. That's how it found me. I used to write about folklore. Not the real kind, the kind that sells, 10 haunted mines you can visit. The woods that make people vanish, that kind of stuff. I'd visit a town, interview a few locals, toss their stories into a blender, and add a little creepy language, and boom, a new article, a new paycheck. I never believed any of it. But then I went back home. I grew up in the Appalachian foothills, western North Carolina, a place where the fog sinks low and the trees hold their breath. People don't talk about strange things. They live around it. I hadn't been back in over a decade, but my editor wanted a roots piece, something authentic, he said. Find a dying legend and make it viral. So I rented a cabin near my hometown and started asking questions. The people hadn't changed much, polite, private, suspicious of strangers even when they used to babysit you. They told me about ghost dogs, lantern lights in the trees, stories I'd heard when I was a kid. All of them harmless, reheated folklore. But there was one thing that came up a few times, not often, but a few times, and never without hesitation. The Whistler. Elsie, my old neighbor, mentioned it first. She was polite until I brought up local spirits, then her voice kind of dropped. She said, "You leave that one alone. That name draws ears." She wouldn't say it again. Told me not to write it, told me not to think about it too long. I thought she was just superstitious, but that night when I got back to the cabin, I couldn't shake it. The name, the warning, the Whistler. And then I heard it. Faint whistling, kind of drawn out, whistled slow from somewhere out in the woods. I wasn't sure if it was real or if it was just my brain doing that thing where it finishes the ghost story for you, I slept with the lights on, though. And in the morning I convinced myself it was nothing. Maybe a bird, maybe the wind. Maybe I was just getting kind of into my own work. But I kept digging. I went to the town archives and asked about missing persons. There wasn't much, just a few brief stories, disappearances in the 1930s and again in the 50s. Then a long gap. Always the same pattern. Someone goes missing. Before they do, a neighbor or family member hears whistling at night, and then nothing. No remains, no trace, just gone. That's when I found a box of old handwritten reports, mostly junk, but one stood out. Dated 1956, a journal entry. It was unsigned. But it read, "The Whistler doesn't chase, it waits. It wears a face you know. It stands just outside your firelight. It doesn't knock, it doesn't speak. It waits for you to speak of it." I should have just left then, but when you chase something obscure, every scrap feels like gold, so I went looking for people who remembered more. That's how I found Roy. Worked maintenance for the town, lived on the edge of the woods in a crooked little house with an overgrown yard. He didn't want to talk at first, but when I mentioned the name, the Whistler, he went quiet. "You don't find it," he said. "You invite it." Then he pointed past his porch. At night, it whistles from the tree line. First time it's nearby, second time, it's already looking at you. I asked what happens the third time. He didn't answer. That night it came again. Low whistling. It seemed a little closer this time. Too close to be some distant sound carried by the wind. I grabbed my flashlight and stepped out into the porch, my breath fogged in the air. The forest was silent, no crickets, no wind, no leaves moving, just an eerie stillness. I didn't see anything, but I felt watched, like the trees were holding something in. When I went back inside, I saw something that made my stomach turn. My notebook was open on the table. I hadn't touched it, and someone or something had drawn in it. 3 stick figures hanging from a crooked tree. I don't draw, I don't even doodle. And that page had been blank the last time I used the notebook. The next night, the power cut out. No storm, no warning, just darkness. I lit a candle. My phone battery was low, and I sat in the center of the room waiting for it to come. And it did. This time, the whistle came from behind the cabin. Not in the woods, not down the hill, right behind the wall. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. Then footsteps. Not heavy, just kind of there, soft, crunching in the leaves outside, pacing and then stopping. I stayed awake until dawn. I didn't blink. I didn't speak. When the sun finally came up, I bolted. I went straight to the library. I dug through everything, old papers, obituaries, missing persons. I found a microfilm record of 1932. A father and son vanished on a hunting trip. The sheriff reported strange whistling heard by the neighbors the night before, but nothing was ever found. Then in 1956, same year as the journal, I read a group of teenagers went missing after camping in the woods. Their campsite was untouched. The fire was still warm, no signs of struggle. One neighbor interviewed by police said they wouldn't stop talking about the thing that whistles. The story stopped there, no follow-up, no explanation. That was enough for me. I didn't go back to the cabin. I just got in my car and drove. About 30 minutes into the drive, my phone buzzed. Autosync, my article notes, the quotes, the research, uploaded and already sent to my editor. And as soon as I saw that, I heard it. Not through the window, not from the woods. It seemed like it was inside the car and like in the back seat right behind me. It's a soft whistling. I didn't turn around. I didn't check the mirror. I just kept driving until I hit the highway. Pulled over at a gas station and deleted everything. The notes, the photos, the article, all of it. It didn't matter. It was too late already. That was 16 days ago. I moved out of state. I got a new phone, new apartment, didn't tell anybody where I went. Still, every night, around 3 a.m., I hear it. Soft whistling. It's soft. It's never loud. Sometimes it's just like a breath in the dark, but it's always there. I tried recording it, but there was nothing. It's like it doesn't pick up. I tried sleeping in a hotel. I heard it. I tried staying up all night, but eventually your eyes close. And when they do, it gets closer. I've seen it once, or part of it. It was more like a shape. It was tall and just wrong, like someone trying to stand like a person but not quite understanding how to do that. It stood on the sidewalk across from my building, just out of reach of the streetlight. I blinked and it was gone. But that night, the whistling didn't come from the window. It came from the hallway. The hallway inside the building, and the next day my neighbor's doors were wide open. He's gone. It's like he moved out and just left everything behind, but I know better. I think I brought it with me. I think saying its name gave it permission, writing about it, like it made it real or something. Publishing it, even by accident, that invited it into every device, every reader, every place, every name that's been seen or said. That's what it wants. Not just fear, but I think it wants attention. It's like it feeds on being known. So if you're hearing this, if this recording found its way to you somehow, don't look it up. Don't say the name Whistler. Don't go back and listen to that sound again, because that sound, it isn't just a warning, it's a signal. It means it's already heard you.